My dog, what's happening, big bro?
Hey, nothing, man. What's going on with you?
How you feel? What are your thoughts on this?
I got a question, really, about the
Well,
whole.
first, before you ask the question,
All right.
is my numbers accurate when it come to YouTube? In your opinion?
I mean, it's complicated. I'll say that because it depends on your channel. It depends on what kind of content you're doing. If you're bringing people on and you're trying to pay them, it could be weird. You could bring somebody on and then it could do very well. You make a lot of money, or it may not do very well. And if you're guaranteeing them a certain amount of money, that could work to their benefit because either whether they win or lose, they still get paid. But the numbers is all over the place. But that goes to my question. He says there was a revenue split 70-30. 70
Mm-hmm.
would go to Pearl and 30% would go to him. But the question that I've not really seen answered is is that 70% of his channel's ad revenue,
Mm-hmm.
or is it 70% of the content that he makes on Pearl's channel? Now, if it's his ad revenue on his channel, that's a terrible deal. I'm not giving anybody any of my ad revenue as far as a percentage on
But
my
see,
channel.
this is what he said. Hold on, let me play a little bit more of the video real quick. Let me play a little bit more of the video. I'm gonna do it because he said that she was creating a show for her channel.
Okay. Now, but if you hear
It
the
had
video,
nothing to do with his channel.
if you hear the video, he's talking about ad revenue in my channel. I heard those words.
Let me
You see what I'm
play it. Let
saying?
me play it one more time. Let me see if I can get it up. Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm in the clear on this. Let me see if I can get it back
up. Before we even get what happened during that interview with Nick Fuente. So when you have a colonial mindset, and I worked for that fee, I have never signed to the JustPearlyThings network. I have always been an independent. Pearl has known that, and I have known that. And so anytime I worked with Pearl, we had agreed a fee, and I worked for that fee. I have never been signed to the JustPearlyThings contracts. However, she has signed a few Africans, namely King Riches and Auntie Jenny. Now, I have no problem with a King Riches or an Auntie Jenny. However, if we look at the contracts that they signed, you would understand the reason why I use the term colonization and colonial. Now, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show.
There you go.
Now, but see, okay, that's for her show, but he's not getting into the contract part yet. You see what I'm saying? Like her show and then the contract part, as far as the money, are two different things.
Well, but to answer your question, it sounds like that he's saying that she wants to create a new segment for her show, not on his channel. This is completely separate from his channel.
I mean,
so
I
any revenue that's generated on her channel from his show is split 70-30.
That's what would make sense, but that's not what he's saying. That's not what I heard him say. And this is the reason why I asked the question, to get clarity, because logically, if there's a show on her channel that he's on, the revenue split will be on her channel, but that's not what he's saying. That's not what I heard.
Well, I'll tell you what. Pearl, if you in the chat, you hit the link and come up and clarify this for us, just so we can be clear. Just so we can be clear. Because what I'm hearing is that he wanted to create a new show. Well, that's what he said for her. Oh, let me just double check to make sure.
However, if we look at the contracts that they signed, you would understand the reason why I use the term colonization and colonial. Now, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show. In that segment, she said that she would like me to present a topical news show on a day-to-day basis.
Sounds like it's her channel. It sounds like it's for her channel.
You got to let him finish.
Okay, let me go ahead. Let me keep playing.
So
Tell
I
me
said,
when you want me to
okay,
stop.
no problem. Talk to me. What are we talking about? And she said she would want me within her studio 4 days per week. I said, okay, from what time? She said from 10 in the...
She's right there. No, his channel. So I was right. So she wants 70% of his ad rev.
Mm-hmm.
Anton, would you ever do anything like
No,
that? Would you tell anybody to do anything like that? Even if they're just starting out, they just getting the channel cracking, they got 100,000 subs. Would you tell anybody to give up 70% of their ad rev on their channel
it
to work with
depends.
somebody
It
else?
depends.
And if you continue, you said there was a contract for 3 years
Hmm.
of 70% of your channel's ad revenue.
Hmm.
Ain't no way. I'd rather would just be a contract worker if I was going to work with her and get
Well,
paid that way.
you saying that because you make a significant amount of money on your channel.
Even, even before, like when I was
So
at
if you
like,
were making zero, let's say you were making $1,000 a month, right?
yeah,
Hypothetically, you making $1,000 a month total, because a lot of these content creators ain't making much more than that.
mhm.
You making $1,000 a month total. For 3 years, you can grow your channel and you can make a significant amount of revenue without actually incurring the cost of growing that channel. Does that change the terms of the deal?
No, it doesn't because I already been there. Like when I was at 5,000 subs, 10,000 subs, I was getting offers. Okay, come over here. And it was always you want a percentage of your channel. I had foresight back then that I'd be here right now. And I knew that it didn't make any sense, especially
But you were betting on yourself in the future, is what you're saying, though. You were betting on the idea that you can grow your own content without any
yeah,
kind of help whatsoever.
yes. And that's what
Then
happened.
that's a different conversation.
But still, but would you like if somebody came to you for advice and it says, Anton, you know, I'm trying to get my channel growing, I'm trying to get cracking, and then somebody wants me to come on their network, on their platform, and they can help me, but they want 70% of my ad rev. Would you say that's a good deal for a 3-year contract? Would you do would you advise them to do that?
It depends. It depends on the actual contract and it depends on the situation. Like, I'll give you an example. There's YouTube game is similar to the music game. Would you agree with that?
It can be if people operate that way, where the you know the whole 360 deal, all that kind of stuff. It can be like that.
Because there's a lot of people that sign over into a lot of different networks and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And they do these deals in which the network actually have to share in the revenue that they're generating on their channel in order to be able to cover costs, in order to justify them signing over there in the first place, right? In return, you get more marketing, you get more visibility, and your channel grow, and hopefully you make more money as a result of it, right?
That's what they say. I used to get those emails all the time. They would say,
I
"Hey,
get them
come
too. I get them
yeah,"
too.
but I already knew from the beginning, I'm not giving up no ad rev. Like I'll pay you. I'd rather would just pay you money, even if I got to put it on the credit card. I'd rather would just pay you money if you want to do certain things from my channel. If you want help with marketing or promotion or whatever, I'll give you a fee that way. I'm not giving you no ad rev because I can make $1,000 a month right now, but then I have one video that goes viral, and I go from making 1,000 a month to 10,000, 20,000,
No,
100,000 a
I
month.
agree with you. I don't disagree with you even a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
not doing it either because I'm willing to bet on myself.
yeah.
I'm willing to bet on myself though. But
I would tell.
most people don't have the work ethic that we have. They don't have the consistency that we have. Most people are going to fail without the help, which is why a lot of rappers and why a lot of musicians and why a lot of them, they sign to a major music label because they unwilling to do the marketing themselves. They unwilling to hire the help. They unwilling to put in the time. They unwilling to be consistent, and they need somebody to actually give them the studio, make sure they're in the studio, take care of business, make sure that stuff get edited properly, so on and so forth. And that's why me and you ain't never gonna have to worry about whether or not we making money on YouTube or any other platform because we're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. Most other people do not even upload consistent enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I understand that, but see, if because ultimately, if you're giving out ad revenue, you paying them to do certain things.
Correct.
Why not just pay them directly rather than giving up ad revenue? Like I could understand, like
Because
me,
they're not generating no ad revenue right now with the platform that they have.
like what I was saying. You put it on the credit card. I rather would go in debt. I rather would go in. It makes more sense financially to go in debt to pay people to do certain things than it does to give up your ad revenue for a 3-year contract. Just financially, it makes more sense. If you need these people to do certain things for you, pay them directly, even if you got to go in the hole, even if you got to go in the red. Do it that way. That makes more sense because you're going to pay regardless. Make the better financial decision.
I agree. If you're gonna put in the work.
And I think that's what his whole thing was about because and once he goes further in the video,
Mhm.
he's talking about all that kind of stuff. So
Well, here's the question that we have to ask ourselves, though.
Yeah.
Who's holding up a gun to his head to say that he have to sign it? A, and then B, why can't he renegotiate? And if he don't like the terms, just say no. Because the one thing that I've never done, because I've gotten these type of emails and deals and people reach out, hey, listen, I want to be a part of it. We gonna put our machine behind you and help you grow and all of that. And I say, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm gonna just do whatever it is that I need to do. I'll hire who I need to hire, get coaching, get consultants, whatever it is that I got to do. I got my own editors. I got everything, right? The one thing that I've never done is I've never thrown somebody under the bus by saying this is what they gave, this is what they offer me, and whatever, so on and so forth. I've never done that.
Right. Now,
and that's the thing. It's like, oh, now this is convenient for you to do now because this is the gravy train that's being highlighted right now. When you worked with me and he literally said, okay, she paid me a fee this amount of time. So you was cool with it all this time. And you was cool with her and you worked with her, even though you said that allegedly you saying that you thought she was a colonizer and all of this other type of stuff, but you helped her and you used your platform and helped to blow her up and all of this other type of stuff. But now it's a problem. And now we want to do all of this. That's the part that I think is disingenuous.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. I think that this whole situation is blowing up and people are kind of like picking their sides and now they're just airing out grievances they already had or things that might not have been grievances before. Yeah. I'm with you on that part. Like that, I agree with you. And I think that this was kind of predictable because having the Nick Fuentes guy on, that opened the can of worms.
Where, of course it did.
Yeah, a lot of these things were kind of under wraps. People had little things they were filling inside and didn't say anything. And I was like, okay, now I got the opportunity for whatever the reason may be to go out and say things. But I think just my question was about the contract specifically. Now, his motives for airing out dirty laundry are a different story. But the actual contract and that whole thing, that'd be my concern. And I want to tell anybody that's out there listening, if you're a YouTuber, please take my advice. Maybe you might not be too ambitious, but don't do a deal like that. The reason why he put it out there is a different story. He may be self-serving. Doesn't really matter. Don't sign that.
I don't know. I think that they should sign some certain deals, depending on if they can negotiate it better. No, maybe not necessarily a 70-30.
No,
I don't think. But here's the terms. Here's the other side of it, though, Brian, Anthony. The thing about it is, they're not also taking what people that then say it, because you understand this and I understand it, right? But a lot of people, because you a machine, you your own thing, you put your own money in or whatever like that. For me, I got different segments. I got a whole studio. I got editors. I got, a whole team behind me of different people that do certain things. They answer all of the emails. They go out and find sponsorships. They do all of these different things on a regular basis. What people are also not taking into consideration is, okay, to what extent are you doing this, right? Because if you're going to do all your own editing, if you're going to use this studio, or are you going to use your own studio as a result of it, right? Are you going to use my editors? Are you going to use my marketing machine? Are you going to use the same people that do all of my shorts and all of this other type of stuff? I think that stuff come with a cost that the artists are not necessarily willing to incur either. Because let's just say, for example, we say, okay, let's do a 70-30 in your favor. You get 70% of the revenue, I get 30% of the revenue, right? In that instance, are we only splitting the cost? Are we only splitting the revenue after the cost that's associated with it? Because we need to take out the cost of all of this stuff that it takes in order to produce this show. And then that's when we split the profit, not the revenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't even operate like that. But I know some people would, but me, nah, I would just say, hey, okay, if I need an editor, how much? I'll pay. I'm not giving you no percentage. Now, if I give you a percentage, really, I'm looking out for you. I'm not, but I wouldn't do that. I would just pay what is appropriate and have that. So everybody's on the same page. Okay, you want X amount? I give you X amount. That's it. Ain't gonna be no.
Well, you paying a consulting fee. Basically, you paying you 1099 and them. You saying, yo, listen, I'm gonna pay you for your service, and when the job is done, then it's over.
sole contractor. Yeah, take 1099. That'd be it. We're not gonna be. I'm not
I
trying to
do
have
the
a
same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. So I think that you're absolutely right, but I do think that some people need help. I do. I think it's a lot of people that need help that want to blow up in this space, and they're not really prepared to do all of the work that come along with it. They're not going to do the 14-hour days. They're not going to create their own thumbnails. They're not doing none of that stuff. And that's why it's so hard for a lot of these content creators to blow up or for them to even make any kind of money on YouTube in the first place. And so they'd rather take 100% of nothing than 50% of something.
Hey, man, I think we agree, but also not on the same page as far as how the money will be paid. You're saying the percentage will be okay because somebody's not making no money, so they give up a percentage, they can begin to make money. That's like the music industry type thing from the '90s, the TLC deal when they had
No, I
waterfall.
don't think that the percentage
They were
should be
dropping
that low.
rainforests.
I
Yeah,
think that the percentage should be more closer to at least 50-50 or 60-40 in your favor, 70-30 in your favor.
it should be the
But
other way around at best.
no, I think it should be like 60%, you make the 60%, and then me as the producer make the 40%. The problem though is that I think where we get mixed up is I think that should come after the profit. I think we should be splitting the profit. You can get the lion's share of anything if it's the profit. But I think that for me to have to suffer because if I take a loss on a cost, you're not going to reimburse me for that.
But see, that's the whole thing behind these contracts. That's like the whole point. That's the whole point behind the Pearly Things and all the other people, music industry contracts.
Yeah.
They give you the whole percentage thing because it's like the old Don King philosophy. He'll give you a certain amount of money regardless of whether you make or lose. But ultimately, it's like a casino. He's going to win in the end. He'll give you a guarantee. He'll give you a percentage, but ultimately, he'll make more than what he normally would if he just paid you outright.
But he's taking all the risk. It's a strong possibility that he won't make money from that.
And he's benefiting from the risk because he can make more in the end.
I'll tell you this. It's been a lot of people that I invested in that lost me money.
Yeah.
A lot of people who I paid and I said, listen, I'm going to make sure that you get here. I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of. I fly people first class. I give them the best 5-star hotels. They don't have no cost. They got a driver. They ride in the Mercedes, the S-Class and all of that, the 2023, the whole 9 yards. And I lose on the end of it, which is cool because I also understand that, it may be a loss leader. It also creates the space for me to be able to create more credibility for myself to get other people that I actually really, really want on a platform, and it's a lot of other factors that I take into consideration, marketing, all of that stuff. So I can lose on this front because I'm making so much money on this side, or I'm making so much money in the other business that I'm willing to invest for, 2 to 3 years into this one, even if I'm losing money, because I see where it's a path to profitability on the other side of that. But in the meantime, I'm getting my ass kicked.
Right. But you see what the benefit of sometimes losing money is. Like you might bring somebody on, that particular show, that particular podcast might lose you money, but you got a lot of visibility from that, which helps you to go do other things and make more money from that. So everything you do goes into the same pot of money. Ultimately, if you're going to have it in your name, whatever it is, you're going to be able to profit from that. That's the whole risk. You lose on some, you win on others, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you're still in the green. That's the objective.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat saying, Anton will not take that deal. Well, you can't use me because I'm the person that give out the deals. I'm not the person that take deals. You know what I'm saying? I'm the person that build platforms. I'm not the person that needed one built for me. And so I think that you're absolutely right. I don't know. I think it's I don't know. It's different. I think every situation is different. Okay, so let me ask you a question then. Why do you think that all the tools that we have today, social media, going direct to consumer, being able to monetize on your own, you can create your own site, you can go on a Patreon, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. A lot of these people, why do you think that people still take deals, whether it's in the music industry or the content creation?
They don't know any better. It's ignorance, really. They just don't know. So just like, for example, when you start to get 5,000 subs, 10,000 subs on YouTube, you're gonna start to get these messages, these emails from MCNs, multi-channel network, full screen, broad screen, whatever they are.
Mhm.
And they say, hey, you know what? We can help you with a lot of different things on YouTube. We can power your videos, get you more views. We can fight content strikes for you. But we need 20% of your ad revenue. Now, if you don't know any better, you'll think, hey, that's a good deal. Only 20% of my ad revenue, they can blow me up. I'm trying to invest into myself and make myself better. They don't understand that what's being offered is not, it doesn't require 20% of your ad rev. Okay, fighting strikes on video is something you could do for free on your own on the back end. They just don't have the education to understand what's really going on. And they just want to blow up. So they see an opportunity and they hop on it.
Mm-hmm. But then like for example, let's take something like a network deal, right? Let's say a Stephen A. Smith, right? Or Skip Bayless or a Shannon Sharp, right?
Yeah.
They don't get a percentage of the revenue that ESPN gets as far as the advertisements and stuff like that, right? They just get a salary. They get whatever that salary is, and then they can't check on whether or not the company is profitable in order to determine what happens on the back end. They literally just take a salary. Now, ESPN, Stephen A. Smith can make $20 million, and then ESPN can make $1 billion. Does Stephen A. Smith need to make more money?
Nah, whatever he can negotiate from ESPN, because that's a company. Like, okay, you're going to Bristol, Connecticut, working for a company. At that point, you're an employee. Mm-hmm. So it's not the same thing as him starting his own platform. Like if he was a YouTuber, had his own platform, and he was doing that, making money, and then some random company came in and said, we can help you get better, give us a percentage of your revenue, that wouldn't make any sense. But if you're going to go work and be an employee over at ESPN, you can negotiate a salary based upon what you're able to bring to the table, your
Correct.
draw, your view, all of that good stuff.
So if she had gave him just a deal and said, listen, I want to pay you this set amount, you still wouldn't have did the deal though.
Well, that's different, because if you want to be like, if she wanted him to be an employee of JustPearlyThings and did not want his ad rev, see, that's my whole thing. Look, I have my own channel. That's mine. You can't touch that. Uh-huh. Now, if I'm gonna come over here and produce content for you on your channel and you pay me to do that, that's totally fine. I still have my own channel. The problem is she wanted 70% of the revenue on his channel. Don't touch my channel. I can work for you on your platform and get paid from what I do on your platform, but I still keep my platform too.
So why didn't he just say, listen, why don't we create a whole new platform and then we do the split on that platform? I stay on my side, you stay on your side, and then whatever it is that's generated right here, this is whatever the split is that I want to negotiate that we have, and then we can partner on it, right? And then whatever happens after that.
Well, I don't know about all the details.
Well, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm saying as a part of my negotiation, if I want to keep my stuff separate, right? That's what I did for every single thing that I've done, right? When we created the Lapeef Network, I said, listen, we gonna partner on this. We gonna split the revenue, whatever it is that we gonna split it. We gonna incur all of the costs, and then anything that we make after that, this is what it is that we gonna do, right? Whatever, after all of the salaries we pay, after the consulting fees, after the lawyers, after everything that we got to do, that's completely separate. He went off and he created his own thing. I already had my platform, but I helped to use my platform in order to get that one started from the very beginning, right? But it's completely separate than what it is that we doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Lapeef Let's Talk is not the same as Anton Daniels. Like,
correct.
Like,
but Lapeef Let's Talk benefits from Anton Daniels.
Yeah, but y'all can cross promote, but it ain't gonna be no double dipping. Like,
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what was gonna happen.
But see, my only problem, and I agree with you. We not disagreeing at all. My problem is then become a better negotiator, or say that I don't want to do it, but don't then come afterwards and then throw me under the bus. You know what I'm saying? If this is not what, because that shows his integrity. His integrity for me is compromised, because I would never offer a person like that a contract or want to do business with him in the first place, because how do I know that you're not going to go straight to the internet and then tell everything that it is that we was talking about on the back end that wasn't even supposed to be for the general public?
You got a good point there. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like I was saying, I think this whole situation with Nick Fuentes, like I said, open the can of worms, and now everybody want to air their grievance. This should have been a private matter. I agree with you 100% on that as far as his character putting it out there. But even if there's nefarious motives behind him saying it, what he's saying is still something that should be looked at and examined and say, hey, that's not
absolutely. I think it's a learning experience. Absolutely. I think it's 100% a learning experience. But I also like it that most people would be willing to bet on themselves, because I don't believe that most people can compete. I think that the one thing that I've learned about YouTube is that most people get burned out if they don't see the immediate results. If they have a good idea, but the idea flop and they drop a video and they thought they did a good thumbnail and it only did 1,000 views and they didn't make any money from it or whatever, so on and so forth, I think that most people give up. And so that's the separation between, I like the dog eat dog world. I like the whole idea of you eat what you kill, because I'm willing to bet on myself, and I know that I'm going to outwork everybody else, and I'm going to continue to reinvest in myself. Whereas I know that everybody else is going to fall off and they can't endure long enough because they don't have that. It's just like being an entrepreneur. Very few people are built to be entrepreneurs. Very few people are built to be content creators because they don't have what it takes in order to. Most people need a job. Most people are used to having a job. And so they go to that job every single day. They do their job. They know they're going to get their paycheck. It's guaranteed. I'm willing to forego anything guaranteed in order to take 100% of what it is that I'm going to get on the back end. So that's kind of how I move. I like it this way. I think that most of these content creators that actually threw her under the bus, I think that Pearl is going to be fine. I think when she.
I think so, because you like this stuff like this YouTube drama is a lot of times it's just between the content creators, and sometimes people that watch the channel might kind of get involved with it. But really, as long as the content is still what it is, people that came for that are going to be focused on that and not so much the back end stuff that doesn't concern them.
Yeah, I think that Pearl is going to be fine, and I think that the majority of the people that in her circle specifically that turned on her, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, because I never knew who they were without her. And the only reason I checked for them is because they was associated with her. And I think that they benefited from the relationship. And then when they found a lane for them to be able to jump off the bus, they jump off the bus when it started to get hot.
Yeah.
Man, I just don't operate like that. I'm loyal. And unless you can, without a shadow of a doubt, can convince me that somebody is racist, I think that is a very dangerous word that people just throw around like it's meaningless, like it's and or the. And I don't like that, because I've been watching your stuff all through the election cycles and stuff like that. I've seen people come for you. I've seen people try to cancel you and come at you, and they'll throw some wild stuff at you. They didn't call you all kind of names and stuff like that, unsubstantiated. And, they can just say anything. And so if I know somebody and I have their phone number and I can get in contact with them, it's no way in the world why I'm just going to automatically believe what the mob is saying just because the mob said it, and it's not going to be meaningful to me. I'm not going to just throw you under the bus when I know you in real life and I can give you a phone call and say, hey, even if I disagree with you, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, hey, what's going on with you? Why would you say that? I'm going to hold you accountable, but I'm going to hold you accountable because I know you in real life. I'm not going to do it on a public platform when I have the ability to be able to call you. That's crazy to me.
I'm with you, man. But hey, man, I got to get up out of here.
All right, man. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming through.